It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. For some time, you may have sensed a quiet shift in the way certain people respond to you. Small gestures, longer glances, or curious inquiries. Even if you didn't piece it together immediately, something in your spirit whispered that you made a deeper impact than usual. It might have been a casual conversation that morphed into an unspoken connection, a random meeting that left you both feeling oddly seen, or a project where your input was so incisive it turned heads. As a chosen one, your presence is rarely mundane. People often sense something extraordinary about you before they can name it. Now, someone you crossed paths with recently can't shake off the impression you left. Whether it's admiration, intrigue, or awe, they're thinking about you more than they're willing to admit. If you feel that subtle stir of recognition in your heart, please like this video, subscribe and comment 77 below to let the universe know you're open to the transformation on the horizon. Chapter 1. A moment that shifted their perception. Something you did or said in the past few weeks cracked open a door in someone else's perspective. Maybe you expressed a viewpoint that challenged their norms, or quietly demonstrated a talent they didn't realize you possessed. It didn't necessarily look grand on the outside, no neon signs or confetti, but it carried a certain energy that couldn't be overlooked. It was a small window in time when you moved authentically, letting your true essence shine. The shift in their perception might have happened the instant they saw how calmly you handled chaos, or how you offered genuine words of encouragement to someone else. Perhaps you solved the problem they'd been wrestling with for ages, seemingly without strain. You might not have grasped that moment's weight, because for you, it was just you being yourself. Yet for them, it was revelatory, an encounter that stuck to their thoughts long after you parted ways. The intriguing part is how subtle it was. This wasn't a performance for you. It was the natural expression of who you are. The authenticity was what spoke so loudly, not any forced act. Subconsciously, they registered that realness, and it resonated at a frequency their usual daily life rarely hits. That's often how a chosen one's impact lands. Soft but profound, gentle yet impossible to ignore. Their curiosity may be going in ways they're not used to. They catch themselves mentally replaying your interactions, wondering what specifically captivated them. Is it your blend of sincerity and confidence? Is it the brightness in your eyes when you talk about something you believe in? Or maybe the sense of inner calm you radiate, even when dealing with complex problems? They struggle to name it, but they know it's significant and it makes them want to see more of you. And you, on your end, might sense a small vibration in the air, an intangible shift that hints someone's focus has turned in your direction. You might recall short flashes like, "I felt their eyes linger a beat longer," or the way they seemed unusually keen on continuing a conversation. You can't prove it, but your gut suggests they've walked away changed. Yet for all your heightened intuition, you still wonder if you're imagining things. That's the puzzle of being a chosen one. Discerning whether an unusual vibe is just random or a sign of deeper resonance. But let's be clear, it wasn't your job to force an impression. It never is. Your role is simply to be present, to let your essence speak through your words and actions. Once that moment passed, you did what you always do. Moved on, carried forward with your day. Meanwhile, in their world, the aftershock continues. They might reach out soon, or they might watch from afar a little longer. Whatever the case, your role was to plant a seed of possibility, something bigger than either of you. And in that subtle, almost invisible instant, you accomplished exactly that. Chapter 2. Why your energy stands out. You've likely questioned before what makes people gravitate to you, or conversely become uneasy in your presence. After all, you might not be the loudest voice in the room, nor do you strive to hog the spotlight. Yet your energy manages to grab attention more effectively than the most boisterous individuals. The answer lies in the essence of being a chosen one. Whether you consciously see it or not, your spiritual signature is distinct. You vibrate at a frequency that resonates with truth and authenticity. Whenever you enter a space, that frequency disrupts the usual hum of daily life. Certain way or having specific achievements pinned to your name. The magnetism stems from an inner alignment, your willingness to live in accordance with the callings of your heart, even if that means going against convention. You might be the one who stands up for someone overlooked, or who refuses to follow a path just because everyone else is doing it. Or you might simply radiate calm in moments of chaos, showing others that peace is a choice rather than a situation-based emotion. All this sets you apart in ways you can't fully disguise. That said, the intensity of your aura can sometimes cause confusion. People may feel drawn to you but struggle to articulate why. They might fixate on small gestures, how you speak, how you pause to truly listen, or the depth in your eyes. These details become anchors for them, tangible clues to explain the intangible force they sense. The friend or colleague you recently impressed is no exception. On the surface, they might point to your knowledge or your helpfulness as the reason. Deep down, though, it's your spiritual resonance that's doing the work. Interestingly, not everyone reacts with open admiration. Some folks find that your presence stirs their own unhealed areas. Your genuineness could highlight their inauthenticities, making them defensive. Yet for those who are ready, even slightly open to growth, you become a sort of catalyst. They sense that being around you can propel them forward, offering a glimpse of what life can feel like when lived more genuinely. This is the dynamic that so often causes watchers to pay close attention, even from the shadows. You may have felt this standout effect for years, perhaps assuming it was mere coincidence or an anomaly in certain social settings. But as time goes on, it becomes too consistent to dismiss. The truth is, the energy you carry is a gift, and it's meant to evoke reflection in others. Every interaction, no matter how brief, can serve as a gentle nudge for them to see themselves differently or consider a path they never would have otherwise. If you've been puzzling over why you made such a strong impression on this particular person, remember that your spirit recognized the readiness in them. Two people only latch on so firmly when some part of them is open to receiving what your energy offers. You didn't do anything extra or contrive to leave this mark. All you did was be yourself, embodying the uniqueness that stems from living in alignment with your deeper calling. That's how you stand out, not through flashy displays, but through the quiet confidence of simply being who you were always meant to be. Chapter 3. After the impression someone has deemed you exceptional and their inner landscape is shifting, they replay your words, measure their routines against your example, and feel a spark of possibility they can't yet name. Quiet observation follows, extra questions in group settings, lingering eye contact, casual coincidences that place them near you. Each small gesture asks the same thing. Could proximity to you unlock doors they'd stop trying to open? That curiosity carries a shadow of insecurity. Old doubts whisper, why would someone like that notice me? When a chosen one's energy meets dormant potential, the other person weighs worthiness against intimidation. Some lean in, eager to grow. Others retreat, unsettled by the mirror you hold to their untapped aspirations. Timing matters. If they've been waiting for a notch, a career pivot, a creative leap, your example can supply it. Don't be shocked if they soon announce a project eerily aligned with your path. It's not imitation, it's dormant ambition waking at the memory of what you demonstrated is possible for you. The aftermath brings pride and responsibility. Knowing your presence catalyzes change. You may wonder whether to mentor actively or stand back. There's no single rule. If they ask, share honestly. If they don't, trust their process. Guidance becomes support, not control. Some of these sparked connections will deepen into friendships, collaborations, even love. Others remain brief yet pivotal. Regardless, the pattern repeats. Your authenticity acts like flint-striking fire in lives that brush against yours. Live consciously, and you'll handle those who seek your light without dimming it or inflating your ego. Remember, the cage you once escaped was built from undervaluing your influence. Now you see its reach. Walk with humility, but also certainty. The very essence that stopped them in their tracks is the same force leading you forward. The story continues, and so do the ripples your presence creates. Chapter 4. The spiritual undercurrent at play. When you make a strong impact on someone, it's not just about personalities clicking. Something deeper stirs in the spiritual realm. As a chosen one, your energy resonates in frequencies that reach beyond the tangible. This resonance can activate a hidden part of people's consciousness, prompting them to question, to aspire, and sometimes to confront what they've avoided. The person who now finds themselves thinking of you often is likely responding to this undercurrent. Often we overlook how intricately connected our souls are. Encounters aren't random. They're orchestrated within a tapestry of divine timing. There might be an overdue lesson they're meant to learn, or a window of opportunity for them to step up to a new level of living. Your presence is like a catalyst that stirs the atmosphere, making dormant seeds in their spirit begin to germinate. They might have prayed or yearned for guidance, and in response, the universe pointed them in your direction, even if it was just a passing moment. This spiritual interconnection doesn't demand that you become their teacher or guide. Rather, it emphasizes the fluid ways the universe employs souls to help each other evolve. Sometimes you might be the one impacted by another's aura. This time, it's your energy that offers impetus. That doesn't mean you should weigh yourself down with responsibility or guilt, nor should you dismiss the significance by labeling it mere coincidence. You stand as a signpost in their journey, a gentle, consider this new path from the cosmos. You may also notice synergy in your life at the moment. If you're encountering repeated references to synergy or higher alignment, it's likely that multiple threads of your existence are converging. You might have your own breakthroughs to focus on, your own leaps to take. Yet this alignment in their life parallels your transformation. This shared timing might reveal that both of you are instruments in a larger plan. While you might help them awaken, their reaction, be it gratitude or another emotional response, could bounce back to your spirit, propelling your growth further. In some instances, the spiritual undercurrent can bring your own unresolved patterns to light. Maybe you catch yourself reflecting on how you handle the role of someone who inspires. Does it trigger your pride or make you shrink away from attention? Does it remind you of a time you were inspired by someone else and how that changed your life? Such reflections can deepen your humility and awareness, preparing you for future connections. Because as a chosen one, these moments of catalytic interaction don't happen just once. There are recurring Overall, know that the impact you've made is rarely for show. It's an echo of your soul's essence in a world that desperately needs authenticity. The spiritual realm fosters these encounters to nudge everyone involved a step higher along their personal ladder to self-realization. So if you feel that stirring inside, the sense that your part in this connection is purposeful, trust that it is. You don't have to manage or define it. Simply continue being you and let the spiritual current guide them and you to whatever the next revelation might be. Chapter 5. Handling the attention without ego. Realizing that someone is profoundly moved by your presence can feel gratifying, but also tricky. On one hand, it's affirming to know your authentic self can touch people in unexpected ways. On the other, pride can creep in if you're not watchful. You don't want to slide into arrogance, acting as though everyone's transformation hinges on you alone. For a chosen one, there's a fine line between recognizing your role and letting ego distort it. In these scenarios, the best approach is to stay tethered to humility. Humility doesn't mean denying your gifts or feigning ignorance about your positive influence. Rather, it's about acknowledging that your abilities and radiance originate from a higher source. You're a vessel, not the ultimate origin. People may be drawn to you, but the spark of their growth is still their own undertaking. You're a guide, a mirror, or a catalyst, one step in a journey that may continue with or without your direct involvement. This awareness helps prevent you from overstepping boundaries, attempting to save or heavily direct them once you learn they're intrigued by you. Sometimes your role is a simple conversation, an encouraging word, or an honest perspective that clarifies their vision. Beyond that, you must respect their autonomy. Let them navigate the journey that your presence ignited, trusting they have the inner resources and additional guidance from the divine to proceed. Moreover, when you stay free of ego, you maintain clarity about your own path. Each time you realize you've impacted someone, you can reflect on how your life is also evolving. By observing the ripples of your influence, you might gain fresh insights about your calling. Perhaps it highlights a skill you should develop further, or a direction that keeps surfacing whenever you help others. You might discover, for instance, that you have a knack for quietly guiding people through emotional transitions. If that pattern shows up repeatedly, it could be the universe nudging you to formalize that calling into a service or mission. Maintaining this humility also protects you from the draining dynamics of admiration. Should they start idolizing you, you can gently redirect the focus to their own strengths and potential. Placing the spotlight back on them reduces the risk of building unhealthy attachments. More so, it cements your position as a true leader in the spiritual sense, someone who empowers others rather than hoarding power to yourself. This approach is a hallmark of advanced souls who know that transformation is collaborative, never a one-sided affair. Of course, you might stumble occasionally. Having someone shower you with praise can be heady, especially if you've battled self-doubt. It can feel tempting to wallow in their admiration, searching for the esteem you felt lacked in childhood or earlier experiences. But by gently reminding yourself that all glory returns to the divine source, you sidestep the trap of inflated ego. Each day, reaffirm your gratitude for being used in a positive way, letting that gratitude ground you in reality. This healthy stance ensures that your role as an inspirational figure remains an outflow of sincerity rather than a performance for applause. Chapter 6. Inviting true connection or stepping back. Now that you're aware you've left a mark, the next question arises. Do you invite deeper connection or gracefully step back? This decision can shape how the relationship evolves. If you sense a genuine resonance in the other person's spirit and you feel called to engage, you might consider gently opening a space for dialogue. A simple invitation, like asking about their goals or offering a coffee meetup, can invite them to unpack the spark you've ignited. This fosters mutual growth, with both of you learning from each other's experiences. Alternatively, you might discern that the best course is to hold space from a distance. Sometimes your cameo in their life is enough to pivot them in the right direction. If you see signs of them being reliant or starstruck, letting them process on their own might serve them better. That's especially true if your schedules or missions are too divergent to accommodate a close bond. The trick is tuning into your intuition. Is your heart urging you to extend your hand, or is it nudging you to let them find their own way? Each choice presents its own challenges and lessons. Inviting them in might mean investing more emotional energy. If they respond with a surge of excitement, you could become a mentor or confidant, which can be deeply rewarding yet time-consuming. On the other hand, stepping back requires trusting they'll use your impression constructively without constant reinforcement. There is no universal rule. Some relationships were meant to unfold further, while others are fleeting but pivotal encounters. Navigating these waters might also stir thoughts of your own boundaries and energy management. If you're already serving multiple roles in your life, professionally, socially, spiritually, adding a new dynamic can weigh on you. Consider whether you have the bandwidth to offer consistent guidance. While it's beautiful to share your light, you also need to preserve enough for yourself. Self-care ensures you remain effective in all areas of your life, including the space you hold for others. If you do choose to deepen the connection, do so with clarity. Communicate your intentions and limitations kindly. Let them know you value authentic exchange, not idolization. Affirm that you see them as a capable, evolving individual, not just a follower or student. When someone feels both inspired and respected as an equal, they're more likely to ground themselves in healthy growth. On your end, it prevents you from slipping into a teacher-student hierarchy that might hamper genuine friendship or synergy. Regardless of which path you pick, the underlying truth remains. Your impression has already done much of the transformative work. The seeds are planted. You reminded someone that there's a deeper dimension to living, one that transcends routine. They might water those seeds with curiosity, determination, or sheer fascination. Even if you never cross paths again, the change in them can ripple out in ways you might never see but can certainly sense. Each time you connect with an open soul, you co-create a small pocket of expansion in the grand tapestry of the world. Chapter 7. The Expanded Road Ahead. Standing at this current juncture, you might feel an undercurrent of excitement, a sense that every interaction, especially the profound ones like this, nudges your own destiny forward. By being authentic, by simply moving through the world as the chosen one you are, You continually open doors not just for yourself, but for those you touch. Awareness of this reality can be both humbling and liberating. It's humbling because it shows how every moment can carry more weight than you'd expect. It's liberating because it affirms you're never boxed into a small script of ordinary possibilities. As for this person who can't stop thinking about you, their path unfolds alongside yours in a synchrony orchestrated by forces greater than either of you. Whether your roads entwine or diverge, the impression you made is an enduring highlight in their story, and it may spark a chain reaction in their relationships, career choices, or spiritual awakening. Meanwhile, your own journey accelerates as well, propelled by the realization that your presence stirs life around you. In that sense, each revelation that you've touched someone's spirit becomes another stepping stone on your road to deeper fulfillment and purpose. What comes next? The horizon might hold new invitations, another project to lead, a circle of like-minded souls ready to join forces, or even an entirely unexpected pivot that calls upon your unique blend of insight and courage. By recognizing the patterns of how your energy resonates, you become more comfortable welcoming such shifts. You begin to expect them in the best way, not from arrogance, but from a serene understanding that you're riding the crest of a wave shaped by divine design. Situations that used to baffle or frustrate you start to appear as opportunities for further alignment. Even challenges become more manageable, perceived not as punishments, but as refining fires. You start to see beyond the outward drama into the underlying truths. Each day, your ability to discern and respond, rather than react, expands. And as you keep evolving, you'll catch glimpses of new realms of possibility you couldn't have fathomed before. This is the expanded road, a steady unveiling of what it means to live in the fullness of your calling. You're already on it, and each potent encounter confirms you're heading the right way. Others will walk parts of it with you, bringing lessons, blessings, or sometimes conflicts that sharpen your insight. The details of how it all plays out remain a swirling tapestry of choice and fate, but the direction, upward, onward, toward deeper truths, is unmistakable. Allow yourself to rest in the mystery, even as you move forward in faith. Let each revelation draw you into an even more confident stride. The impression you made on someone recently is just one light beam in a broader constellation of moments that define your path. Keep shining, keep growing, and watch as the journey continues to expand, taking you and those around you into realms of understanding that were once only the faintest whispers of possibility.